Congratulations, you've made it all the way to Chapter 4, Section 8, which deals with using matrices to solve systems of equations. So what I want you to do right now is we're going to zoom in on the example you put into your journal right here. Okay? And what I'd like you to do now is this system of equations has been written into a matrix. I want you guys to label this matrix, matrix A. Make sure you put matrix A right there. And I want you to label this matrix X right here. And I want you to label this matrix B, and we're going to assign them different colors. This one will be in blue. We'll do this one in red, and this one in green. All right? So matrix A is blue, matrix X is red, and matrix green is B. All right, so what I want you to do right now is I want you guys to write matrix A times matrix X equals matrix B. All right, so this matrix times this matrix will equal this matrix. Now, normally, if we were just going to do regular algebra, and I said, I want you to solve for this guy right here. Solve for x. What would you do to both sides if I said solve for x if we were just doing things normally without matrices? And a, x, and b just represented numbers, not matrices. What would you do to both sides? No. Divide, right. You divide both sides by a. Well, we can't do that with a matrix. We can't divide matrices, but we can do something we did yesterday. What did we do yesterday? We found certain things called... Nope, not determinants. What? Inverses. So what I want you to do right here, on the left side, right here, I would like you guys to write a to the negative 1, which represents, this right here represents a's inverse. We found inverses yesterday. Okay? Now, here's the next question. If I take an inverse and I multiply it to the matrix, these are inverses of each other, what do those always multiply to become? Nope, not 0. Nope, not a 1. An identity matrix, which is 1, 0, 0, 1. So I want you to understand, inverses always multiply together to equal this concept known as an identity matrix. So whatever a to the negative 1 is times a, that equals 1, 0, 0, 1. If you're working with a what? A 2, 5, 2, which we are. Now, if we take an identity matrix, which is the product of these two, and we multiply this right here to matrix X, what is an identity matrix times matrix X going to finally equal? So what is the product of these? X is correct. The identity matrix times a matrix is whatever that matrix is, which is X. Now, what did we do on the left-hand side? We multiplied everything by the inverse, which means we need to multiply the inverse times matrix B. And I need you guys to understand this right here is the concept you need to put into your journal, because I want you to see that matrix X represents our X and our Y value. That's the 2 by 1, the 2-row by 1-column matrix, and that will give you your answer for X and Y. Now that's how it works. You're going to need this in your journal. Now we're going to do a practice problem. We're going to do 2 practice problems to show you how to use a graphing calculator so you can solve these efficiently. All right, in order for us to use that formula, we actually have to be able to set things up. So the very first thing I would like you to do is we're going to set up number 1. We're going to set up, I'm going to call matrix A negative 3, 2, 5, negative 3. We're going to multiply, that's matrix A, times matrix X, which is simply X times Y, and that is going to equal matrix B, which is a 9 and a negative 13. is a 3 by 3. All right, so I'm going to start with matrix A. In the first row, I'm going to write 3, -2, 5. Second row, I'm going to write 1, 1, -4. And JC, what's my last row?
-2, 2.
Perfect. That's matrix A. Times, now this is going to be a little bit different. Matrix X is not just going to be X, Y, it's going to be X, Y, and Z. Okay? Now that's going to equal matrix B. And JC, why don't you tell me what matrix B is going to be?
3, 2, -5.
That's right. And by the way, this is everything set up. Now it's not solved, but before you can solve something, what do you have to do? Set it up. Alright? Now, let me show you something real quick before you guys think it's super, super easy. These are super easy because X, Y, and Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, they're already what? Lined up nice and neat. If you don't line them up, if you don't get them organized, you will get everything wrong. Then, the reason why it's X, Y, Z going down in this column is because I put them in the order of X, Y, Z this way. Alright, does that make sense? So I can't do, for example, I can't do Z and then Y and then X unless I did what? Z, Y, X going down all 3 rows. And what would I have to change this to? Z, then Y, then X. So you got to be careful when you're organizing. So that's the first thing I want you to do right now. Go ahead and take your time and energy, do the first 6 problems and get them all organized. And then we're going to do problem 7 with the calculator. All right, now we're on to number 7. All right, what I want you to do before you start number 7, you don't have to put this in your journal. You can just write, you can just do it. Remember the steps. We have matrix A. This is considered to be matrix X, and this is matrix B. All right, so we have A times X equals B. And then you'll notice, hey, right here, what is X going to eventually equal? The inverse of A times B. And we did that just previously. All right, in our, a few minutes ago, we went over why that works. So I want you to understand, X will equal the inverse of what? 2, 4, 3, -1, whatever that is right there, that's going to be the inverse of that, right? So that represents what? That represents the inverse of A. And then we're going to multiply the inverse of A times B. Here we go. Turn your calculators on. Make sure you have this ready to go. Peyton, I'm going to need your help with A. Garrett, I need your help with B. Here we go. First thing you do, hit the second button. Go to the word where it says matrix, where that's the X to the -1. Go to the right where it says edit, and press enter. And I need you to make a 2 by 2. All right. So Peyton, what goes in here? What goes in the 2 by 2? Give me row by row.
2 and 4.
2 and 4.
And then 3 and -1.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and continue working on problem number 7. This is matrix A right here, everybody. There's matrix A. We got to find its inverse. All right. This right here is matrix B. All right, and what we're going to be solving for is this matrix X, which is going to give us our X value and our Y value that makes everything work. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the graphing calculator. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to type in our matrix. So hit second, X to the -1. Move to the right where it says edit and press enter. We're going to make a 2 by 2. All right, and Peyton, give me the numbers that go in. 2, 4, 3, -1. There we go. So make sure you have that in your typed into your calculator. After you've typed in matrix A, go back and get second and X to the -1. Go to the right twice where it says edit, and now you're going to make matrix B, which is number 2. This time, though, we're going to make it 2 by 1. All right? Now, what numbers are in this matrix?
1, 1.
No.
To the Y.
Negative 2 and then 18.
Blue.
Okay?
That was pretty.
So right here, you guys see the negative 2 and the 18? That goes in matrix B. 2, 4, 3, negative 1, that goes into matrix A. Now that you have those typed in, hit second in mode. Then hit second matrix. Select A. Okay, at this point, does everybody have A on their screen?
Yes.
This is good. Now, there's something really cool about the word matrix right here. What literally is underneath the blue word of matrix? X to the negative 1.
Oh.
Look what happens when I press X to the negative 1. It allows me to make A into its inverse. There is no mistake that when the Texas Instruments was building this calculator, it understood that eventually we were going to need the inverse of a matrix. That's why they're connected. Does that make sense now? Of why it's second X to the negative 1 to get to the matrix? Good. Times second X to the negative 1, select number 2, which is your B. And press enter.
What?
I know, it's crazy. What does this 5 and this negative 3 represent? Your X and your Y that you were searching for all along.
Blue.
Congratulations, you just solved the system of equations by using matrices. All right, at this point, I want you guys to understand we have this row we have to worry about. All right, so we have 3 different rows. One of these rows is perfectly aligned exactly as I want it. The very first one. Is the second row exactly as I want it to be? No. Is the X okay?
Yes.
And what can I do with this 5Z? I can literally place it underneath the negative 9Z because we got to line up the Z's with the Z's. All right? What about the 40? Can I just put equals 40 over here? That's okay. Well, what do I got to do? I got to take that positive 2y and do what with it? You got to move it across, which makes it a negative 2y. Whenever you move something across an equal sign, it makes it the opposite of what it was. All right, let's look at the third row. Are the x's exactly where they need to be?
Yes.
Yes. How about the y's? Yes. How about this 89 over here? That works, right? What's the only thing I got to do? Minus 4z from both sides, so I have a minus 4z. Now you have everything perfectly aligned. Then you can set up your matrices. Okay, we're going to set these up. All right, Emily, give me the blue numbers. 2.
3.
Got it?
-9.
Yep. And over here?
-1.
Good. Kristen, red.
1.
Good.
-2.
Yep.
5.
Yep.
40.
Good. Justice, green.
3.
Yep.
5.
Yep.
-4.
Absolutely. Excellent. Good job. Now we need to put this into our... All right, now we need to build our matrix. So here we go. Second, x to the negative 1. We've got to go to the right where it says edit. We need to make it a 3 by 3.
Yeah.
Here we go. Peyton, give me the numbers.
2.
2, enter.
3.
3,
-9.
-9.
1.
1,
-2.
-2,
5.
5. Hold on. All right, so here we have matrix A. You can see that all we did was take these numbers right here and we put them into the graphing calculator. That's what we did. Now we need to go right here to second, x to the negative 1. We need to edit this one right here, B. We don't want it to be a 2 by 1. We want it to be a 3 by 1. All right, so now you have to edit this one, and you'll notice right here, you guys see these numbers? These are the same numbers we had right here. The last thing you're going to do, everybody, is go back to your screen. Second mode. Go up. Now all you have to do is scroll up, grab it, press enter twice. Oh my gosh, that's a ridiculous answer. Hit the math button, press enter twice, and there it is, right there.